David, it's good to see you again. The
Nice to
last
see
time
you.
we talked was What Happens Later.
Yeah, nice to see you.
Nice to see you. And Stephanie, I'm such a fan of your voice work and all the things that you do. Wow, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you, Tony. That's so kind.
I kind of want to start, David, by saying this touched me on such a level because I took care of my dad, and it was a lot funnier than you think it would be to be with him and have the walls come down.
Yeah,
Uh,
I yeah.
yeah, please go ahead.
No, I think that's I didn't have that experience of actually caring for my dad, but I imagine I did during filming was caring for my mother who was dying at that point. And you know, when things are so kind of uh real, those are the funniest moments that it's not all laughs, obviously,
No.
but when you can get a laugh, it's one of the deeper laughs that you can get.
But those laughs are truly heartwarming, and they take you to a place that um, you kind of fail to visit, from time to time, and this brought a lot of that back. So thank you so much for writing, directing, and starring in this.
It was honestly my pleasure and honor. And when I had the good fortune of casting Stephanie and Logan, a lot of my work was done for me in that sense as a director anyway.
Yeah, Stephanie, let's chat about Mariana. Talk to me about putting on her skin.
At the time when David and I first talked about this film, as something that he wanted me to take part in, my father was actually dying at the time, and I was doing a lot of studying on my own about palliative care and nursing and taking on that role in my family. So when this discussion between David and I happened, I knew that I was just the right person to take it on because I had this like depth of knowledge that I wouldn't have had if my father hadn't been dying at the time. So I understood her in a really strange way because I had kind of done what she does in the film. I had taken on that role for my own family.
Was there any hesitation on your part to take on the role?
Yeah, I was afraid I was going to bring all my trauma and my
Yeah.
own sadness to the film, but I actually think it serviced me in a really amazing, incredible way because, if we're lucky enough to have parents that we know and love, then the time will come when they leave us. And so that experience is really loss and grief is a really universal experience. And at the same time, it's really individual. So I felt like there was there was no saying no to this film. It was only a yes from the beginning.
And I'm glad you did. David, wearing the three hats that you have, I mean, director, producer, um, and actor and writer, that's four hats. Which do you prefer?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I do love directing. Uh, I don't know which I love more, but I just wanted to like circle back to what Stephanie was saying. I would just say, because we had that discussion when we were talking about Stephanie doing the film, and I was a little afraid, to even ask, her to do the film in that state. But I was also too kind of excited to have her come and be in my film to actually say, hey, no, you shouldn't do this. But we were all both Stephanie obviously was very aware of it, and I was very aware of it, and I think just watching her kind of negotiate her moments and knowing what these things were actually meaning to her personally, which nobody else really knew besides Stephanie and myself on set probably, was really quite beautiful and brave, I thought. And I'm grateful that she had the kind of creative fortitude to do that at that time in her life. And I don't know that I've ever thanked her for that, but I'm thankful.
I thank you for it too, Stephanie. What do you think audiences are going to take away from watching Reverse the Curse, Stephanie?
My real hope is that, you know, I wish my dad was around to see this film, because I think for many men of his generation and many men just in general, it's really hard to talk about your feelings, and it's hard to talk about them with your father. And I think the great sort of bridge for many men and their feelings is sports. And I think in this movie, you get this really amazing glimpse into this relationship, this very fraught relationship between a father and son, that the the bridge for them is baseball. And it's a space where they can talk to each other, where they can share ideas, where they can poke fun at each other, where they can argue, that feels like a safe space to do that. And I just think, like, with the film coming out on Father's Day, and like the sort of um difficulty that many people have talking about their feelings with their parents, I hope this film kind of gives you a little bit of a, I don't know, like a key to unlock a door, maybe to some conversations that you've never had with your parents. or with
David, in our
yourself.
final moments we have, what do you think audiences are going to take away from the film?
Well, gee, I love Stephanie's answer a lot. I'm probably going to steal it in the next interview if I can. If I get to go before her, I will. I would say something very similar. I just think, but I think overall, it's considered a small movie. It's a small budget movie, but I think it's a big movie. Because it's about big things. And I think it's a movie like the kinds of movies that I grew up loving, which are ones where you go to the theater to have an experience of laughter and tears. And if you can do both of those things in a movie, that's a success to me. That's a big movie to me. So that's the kind of movie I feel that this is.
Oh, thank you both. David, you're a perfect loving curmudgeon in this. And what a great job. Stephanie, it's a pleasure to meet you, and have a great day, both of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.